can you ask for?
It was at that moment he knew he done f***ed up.
Phenomenal here in the clutch. This is what fans tune in to see.
Oh, he is just so clutch, saving his best for when the pressure is at its highest.
What's good, people? The Warriors may be the most cheatingest, is that a word? Cheating team on 2K for about 3 years running. And I'm going to try my best to add to that here with part 1 of the top 10 plays to run with the Golden State Warriors in NBA 2K18. I'm sorry, non-Warriors users. All right, let's get it. Coming in number 10 on our top 10 list is Quick 1 Elevator Rip. You can activate this play with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Durant, McCall, and Nick Young. And whoever you call the play for will start off ball. So you can take advantage of knowing that and already having the ball in a preferred player's hands opposed to letting the game choose. Which the game will set the ball handler to Steph Curry if you call a play for Durant, or Klay, and Klay if you call it for Steph. And you start the play by passing it to the big next to you on the three-point line. Then the initial ball handler will attempt to set a back screen for your target going towards the hoop, which most of the time isn't open. Actually, the only time this cut to the basket works is if you have Durant running it, which means you call the play for him. And that's only if he gets set a good screen, which means you see his dude get caught in the screen animation or is moved out the way. So all he has to do is jump over the shorter point guard or shooting guard that's left. But outside of that, he can cause a switch on defenders pretty easily without passing to the cutter. Or if they don't switch, leaves one of their defenders so out of position they're giving up a wide open shot on the next action in the play. So just think, obviously having Kevin Durant as one of the two guys and switching the point and shooting guard on him, whether he's the cutter or the other guy, can cause a major problem for the defense. So if the target cutting to the basket can't get open, the play can branch into two sequences. The first is you start by passing to the initial ball handler as he jumps back to the three-point line after giving the screen. And this is where I mentioned he could lose his defender here just by moving backwards if your opponent doesn't decide to switch on that off-ball screen. Or if it's Kevin Durant and they do switch, possibly you can have Isaiah Thomas guarding KD now. Now the defender is still on you and it's not a serious mismatch. The target of the play who previously cut to the basket will receive another screen running to the top of the key. Only pass to him if he's open though, because if he's not, one of those screeners will set you up for a nice pick and roll opportunity to finish the play. From here you want to be aware of where your players are positioned. You got your center right near the lane, so be aware if his defender creeps over so you can dump it off quickly. And one of the many Warriors shooters in the opposite corner if his help defender wants to get big with you. Now, since we just went over what happens when you give it to the initial ball handler on a step back to the three-point line, let's go over the other way, which triggers when you ignore that pass, your target will then receive a floppy screen, which is one of the most common screens to get shooters open, going the other way to finish the play. So your target can receive two different screens in two separate locations depending on if you pass to the step back player or not. Remember, if your point guard, shooting guard, and small forward, the guy you didn't call to play for and isn't the initial ball handler starting to play will be the shooter in the corner. So when you run into a situation where one of the big three is off the floor. The number 9 play is Fist 15, Give Chin. Steph Curry is the only one in the starting lineup who can run this play, and he will be the initial ball handler as well. Livingston and McCall also have this play in their arsenal. You start by passing to the guy next to you at the top of the three-point line. Then you move towards your target, and from here you can trigger two sequences. The first is if you ignore the pass to your target, he gets a back screen cut into the hoop. And it's important to try and run into his defender a bit so you can free him up. You're going to have to get your hands dirty here. And if he doesn't come open on the cut, he comes back on another screen for a three-pointer where you want to pass it to him regardless. And if he doesn't get open, he'll receive a pick and roll from the guy who just screened for him to finish the playoff. Look for him cutting to the hoop here as well, since the other three players on your team are parked around the three-point line. And secondly, still making sure you get in the way of his defender as much as possible. If you give him the ball, he'll receive a pick and roll going the other way. So Curry gets a few opportunities to break free through constant movement on this one. Next is ISO 32 quick. Curry and Iggy both have this play, and they will start the play off ball if you call it. So if you call the play while Curry has it, it will default to Durant being the initiator if he's at the 3. So if you want Klay to do it, he has to have the ball when you start the play. And it begins by Curry getting a down screen as he runs to the 3-point line, where you want to pass it to him regardless whether he's open or not. If he can't get open, the initial ball handler will loop around you, and from here you want to focus on that player's defender. If he gets stuck or tries to go over you, you give it to him and just drive the rest of the way into the lane. If the defender is smart and goes under, you want to wait for the screen on the opposite wing to form. So the play is for Curry. Whoever the initial ball handler is gets the loop around, and the 3-point opportunity is for whoever is left of your shooting guard and small forward. So for example, if you want Klay to get the 3-point chance, have him not initiate the play. Coming in at number 7 is Give 42 Punch. This play can be run by Steph, Klay, Durant, Iguodala, Livingston, and McCall. This is a simple one. Whoever you call the play for will be off ball. It doesn't really matter who has the ball to initiate it, just know it won't be the play you call the play for. You start by passing down low to your big, and your target will receive a drag screen across the 3-point line where you look to him for an open 3. Now if he doesn't come open, he then cuts to the basket and loops around you expecting another pass. Now this is another situation where you help yourself by steering into his defender, so it gives your target 2 legit scoring chances from 3 and a run at the hoop. There's also a kick out 3 opportunity if the player in the corner's defender comes down low to defend you. And coming in at number 6 is Fist 15 Wide. This play can only be run by Steph, McCall, and Livingston, and they'll start the play with the ball in their hand. The first action is a sideline screen for 3. If you pass it and the defender closes it, you now have a give and go with Curry, where you can drive on your own, or pass to Curry and he can receive a pick and roll the other way. Or you can ignore the pass completely and set up your own pick and roll to the empty side of the court. It's for sure more of a setup for the off-ball player getting good looks as Curry is involved in only pick and rolls. But if you got a great 3-point shooter at the 3, this play can get busy for you. Sorry sports gamers, that's part 1 of our top 10 plays for the Golden State Warriors in 2K18. So be on the lookout for numbers 5 through 1 coming soon. And leave in the comments, what other teams would you like to see us do? I had a lot of fun with this one. And stay tuned here at Sports Gamers Online for more NBA 2K18 content. And at the end of the video, there's more highlights of me using these plays online if you're interested. Sorry people, I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching, and be good, y'all.
And here's Golden State. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Tough night. I mean, they attacked on both ends, and unfortunately for them, they just got called for a lot of fouls.
At 11. There's the dish to Thompson. Pass to Green. Golden State moving it around. Curry unable to get the second one.
You know, he couldn't make all of them, and they'll have to settle for just a 1-point lead.
Here's Curry with the 3. Gives it down.
What about the courage right there? Sacrificing his body to get the high percentage attempt at the rim.
And you look at the kick.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on
the screen from Thompson. Green dishes to Curry. Good. Thomas got a couple of threes now in the first for the can.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last 2 possessions. They're going out.
How you become great and test yourself as a player. Kevin?
Well, David Thompson certainly a mentally at Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. Golden State's gotten fewer than half of their 3-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Back to Curry. Looking to end his cold spell. Now Curry. After Kyle Korver missing on that last 3-pointer. Curry kicks to Durant. Looking to end the drought. It's the Warriors now. Curry dishes to Thompson. Feeds it to Green. Six on the shot clock. Here's Curry with the three. Unable to get the second one.
You know, he couldn't make all of them, and they'll have to settle for just a one-point lead.
Here's Curry with the three. Hit.
It can happen so fast that I think at times the other teams are shell-shocked.
Durant kicks to Green. Back to Durant. Green, the screen. Lock at 6. Green with a screen for Durant. Off target with his three. Now, Brent, we're far enough into the season where certain rookies are starting to hit the wall. What can coaches do to stop that process or help them? Outside Curry. Shot clock at 5. Curry a screen on Green. Warriors leading by 4. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Guys, Kevin Durant is a unique player. LeBron James said he's a 7-footer with 6-foot ball handle.